You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neil, and I'm joined in the studio by Jeff. How's it going?
Pretty well. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Today, unfortunately, you might hear on another episode, Matt is absent due to a flu. We're not sure where he got the flu, and we were attempting, as we said, to have him do a Jordan flu game, but he said no. So he's drinking.
Weirdly, he's putting his health first.
He is putting his health first, which
not
is
allowed here.
It's not in the contract, no.
Nope.
So we're going to have our lawyers talk to him.
I guess that clause was superseded by his blue M&Ms only clause. So
I think you're right. And then Ken is kind of MIA. We had a tracker on him, the Find My iPhone app, but apparently he was looking for some magic cards at a estate sale in Southern Illinois, but we haven't heard from him.
Well, we did track down his tracker, but much like the one in Jurassic World, it seems to have been cut from his flesh. So
yeah, so Ken, we hope you're okay, and if you are okay, please get a good deal on those magic cards that you've been looking for. But in the studio right now, as our special guest hosts, before we get to our guests, is someone who wrote a great round of trivia you might have heard on a previous episode. It was a themed round, and I don't know if we should say your nickname in the middle. Well, why not? I don't know.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, sir. So we have Tim Danger Evans here in the studio.
Danger is my middle name.
So thank you for joining us. Why don't you talk a little bit about yourself and your business?
Thank you. My business is more important than myself. That's Quiz Mercenary. It's a small local trivia game that's found in the west side of Chicago. Actually, I'm just moving into my newest game this week in Andersonville. So
nice.
I'm very excited. My first break into the city. Started about 2014 in a single bar, and then kind of gradually and very, very slowly crept up to the 8 that I have now. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm an ex-Navy nuclear engineer, so but that's way in the past. So
wow,
I won't be talking about that today.
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, no worries.
Man, he's a much smarter man than any of us are. A nuclear engineer. Wow.
Smarter, better, faster, stronger.
Yeah, you are. You're the Daft Punk of trivia hosts. Well, joining us over Skype are two of our friends, two of our longest Patreon supporters. So first of all, thank you for that. And these are guys that we had the pleasure of meeting in Boston at Geek Bowl. We talk to them pretty often. They've been listeners almost since the beginning. We appreciate it. And that is Wesley Wells and Phil Sanford. How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty well. How are you?
Doing well. Glad to have you guys on the show. Phil, you're in a brewery right now. Is that right?
Yes, I'm in the lovely Noda Brewery right now. I'm in they reopened their original location just for today because they're having an outdoor concert at their newer location. So I was here to help because I help run the run club here every Wednesday and Sunday, and so I decided to just hang out and do the brewery on location, have some delicious beer here. So.
Well, awesome. We made some calls. They opened the brewery for you special for this episode. And Wesley, we talked with Wesley beforehand, and we thought this might be kind of fun. So we want Wesley to describe Phil for his intro, and then Phil is going to describe Wesley for the listeners at home.
All right. So I have known Phil for... I guess probably almost a year and a half now, ever since the Sinister Six formed. And what I know about Phil is that he loves sports, particularly soccer. He is a huge fan of Everton, and for fun, he likes to run millions of miles. So
it sounds about right. And Phil, what about Wesley?
So Wesley is I like to call Wesley Boy Wonder with trivia, because like he is. Dude, he just knows the most random stuff. For somebody like his age to know like everything, it's incredible. But Wesley also, as diehard Arkansas Razorback as you can get. So, and he travels. He's traveled to Charlotte for Arkansas stuff. He's going to go to the College World Series. He went there last week, and he's going to go back in a couple days for to see if the Razorbacks can win. So.
Well, that was the Wesley and Phil corner. So thank you guys for introducing each other and for being listeners of the show. It was going to be Jeff and Phil versus me and Wesley, but we thought just for logistical reasons, it might be easier to have you guys on your Skype channel, then we can mute ourselves to make it easier for everyone to discuss.
But also, it kind of works. Neil and I play on a team pretty often. Wesley and Phil play on a team. You may have heard them mention the Sinister Six. So I think that's where we're getting their name from today. I believe they're going by the Sinister Two, right?
The Sinister Two. Well, the rules are going to be the same as normal, but let's kick it over to the rules guy.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
All right, well, basically this is going to be Tim's game. He wrote a special game for us, and there might be some tricks up his sleeve, so we're just going to throw it over to Tim if you guys are ready to rock.
Let's do this.
All right. I generally have questions that are a little bit odder than normal, but for this purposes, I try to keep them to my more straightforward questions. You will find a couple of curveballs in there, maybe not in the first round, but definitely in the second round and the swing round. But let's just get it started with round 1 question. First, in the category River City Capital. Here is the question. The Tagus River, Tagus, works its way southwest from the Montes Universales, Sistema Iberico, Sierra de Albarracin Comarca, and empties into the ocean near what capital city?
Yeah, Phil, I can lock in.
Okay, so you guys are... what do you think, Phil?
I have an idea, but I'm going to go with Wesley locking in.
Neil had written down Rome pretty quickly here. Is that what you're thinking, Neil?
I was just thinking, Italian. It sounded very Italian. How are you feeling about Rome?
I'm all right with that.
All right, we're just going to go with Rome.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's Lisbon.
Yeah, Lisbon, I like that because it sounds Spanish, but I know Madrid is not a port city.
No.
And Lisbon is.
Lisbon is, yeah.
Also, I'm assuming Iberica for the Iberian Peninsula.
It is Iberico for the Iberian Peninsula. Lisbon, Portugal is the correct answer. All right, good question. Good start after the show. We're going to go into the next one, TV show category, this time from the original 1987 series as well as the 2017 reboot of DuckTales. DuckTales, you familiar with the show?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Thank you. That's all I was waiting for. So, in the original series and the 2017 reboot, a large family of dog thieves, not a family of large dog thieves, a large family of dog thieves, tries repeatedly to attempt to steal Scrooge McDuck's money. What I want you to tell me is what breed of dog are they?
So Jeff and I are just writing down breeds of dog that we think it could be that would look good in animation. What do you feel about any of those?
I could see that. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Which is weird.
I thought you were going to go with who is Scrooge McDuck in the reboot, which would be David Tennant, but it was not where I was hoping you were going.
I did not know that. That's a good bit.
I'm going with your first instinct.
Okay. All right. We're going to lock in with what we think is an incorrect answer.
The one thing is I would assume that's like some sort of hound dog because when you talk about dogs going after ducks, it's
sure
hunting dogs. So I mean that's where you think of like bloodhounds, beagles, like
beagles. That's it, beagles. Okay. They're the Beagle Boys. That rang a bell.
We had Doberman.
It is the Beagle Boys, led by Ma Beagle.
Ooh, that's a great clue there with I didn't even think about that with dogs going after ducks. That's good pull there.
I just needed you to ring that bell for me.
All right, question number 3 is in the category History Forgets. On May 29th, 1953, Tenzing Norgay led the way to an accomplishment that had never before been achieved, but the person with him got all the credit. What was it that Tenzing and his partner accomplished? And I will give you spellings.
I bet we both know this one.
All right, so do you think it could be around that? I don't know if... You actually think that?
That's about the right time.
Okay. All right. We're locked in.
All right. They summited Everest.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Sir Edmund. Yeah.
Yeah. Edmund Hillary. I knew it after Tenzing Norgay because he's the one that's forgotten, but that's become a common trivia question: is who was Edmund Hillary's partner?
Alrighty. And triviality, what do you guys have?
We had the same, summiting Mount Everest.
And that is it. First people to summit Everest. That is points for both teams. Excellent. Alrighty. Question number 4 in the category Fronting the Money. Fronting the Money. Here's the question. What 20th century president's face is on the $100,000 bill, the largest ever produced and used primarily for bank transfers? Given how his presidency went, though, it probably should have been his wife.
Interesting.
Oh, I know it. I can lock in.
All right, Jeff. So you immediately wrote down
What do you feel about the clue there?
Woodrow
Should have been his
Wilson.
wife.
What president had a wife that did more than him? FDR? No.
Teddy Roosevelt had a pretty productive wife. So did FDR. But this banknote came out, I believe, in the 20s.
Uh-huh.
So it would have been... maybe I have that wrong.
You're the money guy, so the clue is...
I don't actually own one of these, though, so I don't know.
Oh, you don't?
I don't.
Oh.
So why did you write down Woodrow Wilson?
Because I kind of see his face on there. Maybe Madison. Dolly Madison's pretty famous. Yeah, let's go. I'll stick with my original gut. I'll go Woodrow Wilson.
Okay, we're locking in with Woodrow Wilson.
Alrighty. Triviality's locked in with Woodrow Wilson. What do you have as Sinister 2?
Y'all pulled it out. It's Woodrow Wilson. And the clue is that after he had a stroke, they think that for the last couple of years of his presidency, his wife was essentially running the country.
Yes, that is true, and it would have been during the time when he created the Federal Reserve, too, so she probably gets, as the presidentress, the credit for that. Nicely done, both teams. Points on both of us.
Yeah, that's a good fact there about his wife running the country.
Alrighty. And question number 5 is in the category Gaming the System. This one has a possibility for a bonus point here, so listen up. In November 2001, 2 home video game systems, that is not portable video game systems, home video game systems, had their North American release just 3 days apart. Name either of them in 2 guesses for your 10 points, or if you get both of them in 2 guesses, I will throw a bonus point on top.
Or you circle them and then we'll lock in.
Do you want to do this as your primary and this as your secondary?
Okay.
I have a feeling weirdly that one's in there.
Okay. All right. So we're locking in both answers. 1 second. All right. We are locked in.
So Phil, what's the one that you know?
I think it's the Nintendo GameCube.
GameCube. Oh, okay, yeah. That was the one I thought.
I want to say PS2 is earlier than November 2001.
Okay.
I think Xbox would be the better guess. But Nintendo GameCube is my for sure, and then I say we go Xbox for our second one.
For the bonus, okay. So we'll lock in GameCube and Xbox.
Alrighty, and Team Triviality, what do we have?
So we had a similar discussion. I was pretty keen on going with Xbox, but Jeff thought it was much later, or not much later, but later than our other guesses. Jeff wrote down Dreamcast. We also wrote down GameCube, but ultimately we went with PS2 and Dreamcast.
The correct answers are Nintendo GameCube and Microsoft Xbox. PS2 did come out in 2001, but I believe it was much earlier in the year. And I believe Sega Dreamcast came out in 99 or 2000.
Could have been.
So after 5 questions in the first round, Team Triviality has 20 points, and playing perfectly for the first 5 questions is Team Sinister 2 with 51 points.
Oof. Alrighty. Question number 6, going into some sports here. Hockey legends. Here's the question. What player has a distinction of being the first person to score 1,000 career goals over a career that spanned the NHL and the World Hockey Association? And at 52 years old, he holds the record for the oldest player in the NHL.
We're locked in.
Not continuous, not current player. He's obviously not playing anymore.
Okay. So we wrote down...
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Gordie Howe and Hull. Hao is the only name that I know who played for a really long time.
He played long enough. He actually played with one of his own sons. So
okay, I mean that's a good enough reason to go with Gordie Howe. So we're gonna go with Howe as our locked-in answer.
Gordie Howe and the Sinister 2. What are we thinking?
We also went Gordie Howe.
Gordie Howe is the correct answer. Nicely done. I literally never know if my sports questions are hard or incredibly easy. That's my worst subject.
Hey, that's the only name that I even knew, so at least I was able to pull it, but I don't know anything about hockey, so that would be Ken, who's not here today.
Right on. Yeah. All right. Question number 7 is in the category musical couples. Musical couples. In the Billy Joel song, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, what are the names of the popular couple who got married out of high school and then divorced? I'm going to need both of their names, just first name, because that's all he gives.
Phil, I can lock in.
For some reason, that stupid Cougar Mellencamp song's in my head.
Jack and Diane.
Jack and Diane, yeah. This was in the musical Moving Out, and I remember it takes place in an Italian restaurant, and I'm oh man, it's in my head. This song, I'm trying to think. It's The Curse of John Cougar Mellencamp. All right, just for the fact that I cannot think of it, and I'm so angry at John Cougar Mellencamp, we're just gonna write Jack and Diane are pieces of.
Wow.
Okay, that's our locked-in answer.
What are we thinking?
So I've been on a kick where I've been listening to the soundtrack of Moving Out a lot recently, as Neil referenced. I believe these two are Brenda and Eddie.
It is Brenda and Eddie. Although I should note that if you were at one of my games, Jack and Diane, a piece of would have gotten you at least 1 point in that question. So, that's that. All right, foreign delicacies is up next. The Levantine dish, baba ganoush, is a mixture of tahini, olive oil, spices, and primarily what vegetable? What vegetable is the main ingredient in baba ganoush?
So my family just had this the other day, and they ordered it takeout, and my dad's like, "Oh, try some baba ganoush," and I was like, "I don't really want to try it," and I was like, "What is it?" And then he was like, "Oh, olive or oil, spice," and then he said it, and I'm not sure. And I'm trying to pull that right now. I want to say this might be too easy, but I want to say it's like that because that equals.
Yeah, I'm fine.
That equals this.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So we are locked in with a guess.
Phil, I'm pretty sure it's eggplant because I'm pretty sure that I've seen questions where it asks where it says like baba ganoush and something and moussaka, which is Greek, all have what vegetable as the base dish, and moussaka is definitely eggplant.
Right.
Eggplant as well.
Okay.
And we were stuck on chickpeas. We couldn't get off of them, so we said chickpeas.
Chickpeas are a good thing to be stuck on. Unfortunately, the answer is eggplant. Eggplant is the right answer.
Cool.
Alrighty. Question number 9. The category is domestic foreign automobiles. Here's the question. Which auto manufacturer opened a plant in Westmoreland, Pennsylvania in 1978, becoming the first foreign car maker to have a production facility inside the United States?
Yeah, I'm going to lean on you heavily here. I don't have much logic here.
I'm gonna go with this, and I have a reason for it.
You want to explain it then after
Sure.
we lock in? Okay, so we're going to lock in, and then we'll explain our answer when they're done.
So I know that the Japanese automakers opened up a lot in the Midwest, but those weren't until the 90s.
Yeah.
I know like Toyota and Honda and Nissan all opened up like Ohio, Michigan, Indiana factories in the 90s.
Okay.
I know Mercedes, and I can't remember who else, but I know Mercedes opened up like in like Alabama and Mississippi a while ago, but they were like deep south because they wanted like dirt cheap labor.
Okay, so that puts us in Europe.
Yeah.
Since you're from that area, do you know where in Pennsylvania Westmoreland is?
I would assume outside Pittsburgh because of
steel.
Because of cheap steel.
Yeah.
I don't know for a fact, but I would assume outside Pittsburgh.
Okay. So Volkswagen then maybe?
All right, I'm good with that.
Okay, we'll lock in Volkswagen.
Okay. Jeff and I had a long discussion. We wrote down Volkswagen, BMW, Nissan, Toyota, but I'll let Jeff describe ultimately what we went with.
I was thinking it was maybe related to the late 70s, early 80s oil and gas crisis, which brought a lot of cheap, efficient Japanese cars into the United States. One of the companies that sold quite a lot, and actually to get around U.S. import tax, diversified their company, was Toyota. So we guessed Toyota. So the Lexus brand is actually a way to get around import restrictions on Japanese cars by Toyota. So,
Very interesting. Correct answer. They are the producers of the world's slowest fastback, the Volkswagen Beetle. That was the Volkswagen plant in Westmoreland, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
All right, and your last question in the first round in the category poison. Here's the question. The Marsh test, Marsh, M-A-R-S-H, developed in 1836 by chemist James Marsh, big surprise, test for the presence of what poison, which is often referred to as inheritance powder. Inheritance powder. And this poison is often found in its trioxide form, which is what the test tests for.
Jeff knows what trioxide means. I'm just going to nod and pretend that I do. All right, we're locked in with a guess.
Okay, so my idea, Wesley, just primarily from the era that it was developed, my guess was arsenic.
That was my guess too, and I was thinking inheritance powder, like the play Arsenic and Old Lace, where the guy's aunts are murdering people to get their inheritance. I don't know if that's what it's about, but that's what I think it's about.
Okay.
And before the question started, my pre-call on it was arsenic as well. So let's go with arsenic.
Okay.
So we had a similar discussion. As soon as I heard the word inheritance, I pictured Cary Grant and the people dying at the inn or wherever they at. And so I wrote down arsenic. Jeff then wrote down mercury, but we kind of settled on the fact that arsenic can be a powder. And we liked the inheritance angle. That's where we came to. So we also wrote down arsenic as our final answer.
Both of you getting points on this one. Arsenic is the correct answer. Although I would like to point out that those Cary Grant's aunts in that movie and play, they were actually putting those men out of their misery because they were all lonely and they were doing a service.
That's all right.
Yeah, they were very nice about it.
Maybe we'll bring that back, an arsenic service for people. Yeah. Actually, we need some arsenic right now going into the swing round to be put out of our misery. So,
or like the Futurama suicide booths.
It's a real shame that those never came to fruition, and they can't because the copyright date on them says 2008. So, too late.
So going into the swing round, Team Triviality has 40 points, and Team Sinister 2 is echoing a road in Los Angeles. They're going to be the 101.
With the bonus point, that'll be our best round ever. No one will ever beat that.
No one will ever beat that first round unless Tim's back.
Unless we change the rules.
All right, gentlemen. For the swing round, we're doing a category called That Movie Sounds Awful. In this round, I'm going to give you the year of release of a major Hollywood motion picture, no art films, no foreign films, anything that's in a major release, as well as an accurate but misleading description of that film's plot. For example, if I said from 2008, a young girl in the Pacific Northwest must choose between bestiality and necrophilia, the answer would be Twilight. Answers are worth how much in the swing round?
5 points.
5 points each. Yeah. Perfect. That's what I wrote down. So let me know when you're ready, and I'll hit you with the first one. So here we go. Number 1, from 2009, a well-dressed older man escapes justice and flees to South America with his young male companion. Number 2, from 1994, a divorced man and his son witness the death of an intruder outside their home. Then the father assumes the dead man's identity in order to impress his son. Number 3, from 1995, a local lawman must deal with a charismatic but delusional newcomer while preparing his village for a forced relocation. Number 4, from 2015, a wealthy white business owner beats up an illegal alien over some property damage. Number 5, from 2004, a promising young athlete abandons her career after it becomes a pain in her neck.
Oh no.
Number 6, from 2010, a handful of people take a series of naps. Number 7, from 1984, a foreigner in Southern California keeps running into the same woman. After she falls in love with a different man from his native land, the foreigner is crushed. Number 8, from 1993, a billionaire diversifies his investments from biotech to tourism and learns a valuable lesson about properly compensating his IT staff. Question number 9 from 1989. During the beginning of World War II, a father and son fall in love with and are betrayed by the same woman. After the father has a near-death experience, she hopes the younger one will hold on to her. And number 10 from 1997. A New York City cop receives a letter from an immigration office and he begins working there. He does a good job, but people have a hard time remembering him. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I have a typo. Number 4 came out in 2016. So here we go. From number 1, 2009, well-dressed older man fleeing to South America, young male companion. Sinister 2, what'd you have?
Disney movie, it's Up.
All right, and Triviality?
That sounds right. We had no idea. We just put Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11. Good guess. It is Up. It is Up, 100%. All right, number 2, 94. Divorced man and his son witness the death of an intruder outside their home. A father assumes the dead man's identity to impress his son. Let's go with you guys at the Sinister 2.
We went with the Santa Claus.
Alrighty, Triviality?
Oh, no. Yeah, that's right. We went with Lion King.
That is the Santa Claus right there. Lion King's actually Hamlet, isn't it?
Yes, it is Hamlet. Yeah.
Yes.
It was just a guess.
All right. Number 3, 95. Local lawman dealing with a charismatic, delusional newcomer while preparing his village for forced relocation. Let's start with Triviality this time. What'd you have?
We were very close on this. We couldn't figure out what to put. I know it's there in my head. I just couldn't pull it. So we just said Dudley Do Right for no reason.
All right, Dudley Do Right. And Sinister 2?
I think this one is Toy Story.
It is another Toy Story. That's another right answer. That Toy Story is the right answer. Oh, that is my third children's movie right there in a row. Let's switch it up a little bit.
I can dig that.
Yeah,
children's movies are my thing.
They are somewhat more entertaining than these depressing adult movies that are out today. All right, number 6 or from 4 from 2016. I did say there was a typo in there. A wealthy white business owner beats up an illegal alien over some property damage. Let's go with Sinister 2.
I'll let you go with this, Wesley, since this was like the one that we took a total guess on.
Yeah, I said wealthy white businessman might be Tony Stark, Iron Man, so we said Captain America Civil War.
Alrighty, and Triviality?
That's a good guess, and you're in the right direction, but the wealthy white businessman is Bruce Wayne, so that'd be Batman versus Superman.
Oh. That makes sense.
I thought that with the Batman poster facing directly into the screen, it would have been a tip-off to you guys, but that is Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. That's excellent. All right, and number 5, I'm pretty sure that both teams got, but let's just double-check here. From 2004, a promising young athlete abandons her career after it becomes a pain in her neck. Sinister 2, what do you got?
Yeah, so I once took a date to this movie, $1 Million Baby.
See, that's a depressing date, but good.
I didn't know like how depressing it was. And it was, she was just like sobbing by the end. Yeah, this didn't work out well.
Triviality?
Well, it sounds like if you just referred to her as I once took a date, it probably means you pulled the plug on that relationship. So we're gonna say $1 Million Baby.
Thanks, Makushla.
It is $1 Million Baby. Nicely done. 6 was 2010. A handful of people take a series of naps. Sinister 2?
I believe this one is Inception. They do a bunch of sleep stuff. I've read the plot on Wikipedia, never seen the movie.
Triviality?
We also went with...
It took us a while to wake up through all of the layers, but we finally came to and we said Inception.
Yes.
I just want to say that neither of you get credit for that because I gave you that idea in a dream to say that answer. So, yes, Inception is the correct answer on that one. Number 7 from 1984, a foreigner in Southern California keeps running into the same woman. After she falls in love with a different man from his native land, the foreigner is crushed. Triviality?
I'm going to let Jeff have this one. This one took us a while, and it's really well worded, so I'll let Jeff take it.
I can't do the impression, so I don't know why you kicked it to me, but I think we agreed that it's the Terminator.
Alrighty, and Sinister 2?
I've seen it. Wesley's never seen it. Wesley put a little bug in my head, and yeah, the plot. This is the plot of the Terminator.
is essentially the plot of the Terminator. He's looking for Sarah Connor over and over again, finds lots of her, and then is crushed by some sort of steel mill factory.
Told you the crushed was literal.
Well, we were talking about it, and I was like, Southern California foreigner. I'm like, why is Arnold Schwarzenegger in my head? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. He meets Sarah Connor over and over again, and I was like, can't be the Terminator. And then crushed. Yeah. So great question.
Nice. Alrighty, from 1993, a billionaire diversifies his investments from biotech to tourism and learns a lesson about properly compensating his IT staff. Sinister 2, what do you got?
We said Jurassic Park.
Alrighty, Triviality?
We think Richard Attenborough should abandon ship. Maybe take up his brother David's mantle, and we went to Jurassic Park.
That is Jurassic Park. Can't believe they keep reopening that place. The insurance must be through the roof. Number 9, from 1989. During the beginning of World War II, father and son fall in love with and are betrayed by the same woman. After the father has a near-death experience, she hopes the younger one will hold on to her. Triviality?
So just make sure not to call him Junior. You call him Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade.
Alrighty, and Sinister 2?
I don't know if you've seen it, Wesley, but yeah, for me,
No.
Once I started thinking about period pieces from the 80s, 89 was definitely the when Sean Connery made his appearance as Indiana's father in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
That is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, or as I call it, Indiana Jones in the last movie I'll recognize. And from the last one, 97, a New York City cop receives a letter from an immigration office, and he begins working there. He does a good job, but people have a hard time remembering him. Triviality, you want to go and listen?
Yeah, great worded question. Jeff's the one who pulled it out, and I was like, yeah, that is right.
I've never even seen the movie, but we believe that we are the Men in Black.
Alrighty, and Sinister 2?
That's right. We put down The Devil's Own, but I think Men in Black is correct.
Yeah.
It is Men in Black. He receives the letter in the form of his name. Goes from, I believe, J to J, just the letter J. The immigration office and the memory erasers. Nicely done there, gentlemen. How many did we get right there?
All right. After the swing round, Team Triviality picked up 35 total points, and Team Sinister 2 picked up 40 points. So going into the second round, our scores are
75 for Team Triviality and 141 for the Sinister 2.
Great. All right. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Round 2, as usual with my game, round 2 is going to be a little bit harder than the first round.
Uh-oh.
So hopefully you guys can get into it.
Yikes.
So let's go with the first question in the category same name. Here's the thing. I'll describe 2 different people, places, or things that share the same name. You just tell me that name they share. One of them is a multi-platinum album by an American band that was released in 1999. The other is an Emmy-winning TV show that ran from 2007 to 14 on a premium cable channel. They both share the same name. What is it? What is that name?
Hey, Wesley?
Yes.
I'm going to lock in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, because I had no idea.
Okay. So you're locked in?
We're locked in.
Okay. Okay, so initially we wrote down Breaking Bad, Mad Men. I guess Breaking Bad could be considered a premium network. I mean, it is on an upgraded cable package, but I feel like premium to me is...
So I can tell you for sure that Breaking Bad ran... It may have only been 6 seasons, though. 5 seasons?
Yeah, but with
like a part 2. I know it finished in 14. That I'm sure of.
Okay.
And they did take some time in between, so it's possible it could have started that early, but I don't think it started that early.
And there was no description of the show, right? It just said show from 2007, just Emmy-winning show?
Yeah, just Emmy-winning show from 2007 to 14.
Okay.
Emmy-winning shows I can think of.
I can't. You just want to go Breaking Bad. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, but...
That's fine.
Okay. All right, we're locking in with Breaking Bad.
Alrighty. Sinister 2?
All right, so the album is by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and
I know it.
It's a Showtime show. It's Californication.
Yes, Californication is the correct answer. Not David Duchovny's finest work,
Forgot
but
about that.
Still a valid work. Alrighty.
I never liked that show.
Points for Sinister 2 and not for the Triviality. So here we go. Question number 2 in the category Lyrical Translation. So here's what I did for this one. I took an easily recognizable line of lyrics from a popular song. I then rephrased those lyrics into a loosely synonymous poetic couplet. You're going to decipher the lyrics and name the song. Got it?
Got it.
Okay.
Cool. This song came... I'll also give it the year it came out, too. Give you a little point in the right direction. This song came out in 1991. Here is my poetic couplet. Yonder I stand at meeting of walls, yet I am there, too, where focused light falls. Name that song from 1991.
Okay, we're actually locked in. You guys can talk it out.
Phil. So I think I was just getting it as they were locking in. So meeting of walls, I got corner, and focused light, I got spotlight. And I was thinking, that's me in the corner, that's me in the spotlight from Losing My Religion by REM.
Yep.
We had a similar discussion. Jeff wrote down spotlight and corner, and then I in a what's his name again? Stipe.
Michael Stipe.
Michael Stipe.
Yep.
I was like, that's me in the corner, and so we said Losing My Religion.
Well, that'd be points for both you teams. Losing My Religion by REM is that song. That's me in the corner, that's me in the spotlight. Nicely done. Alrighty. Here we go. Question number 3 in the category state capitals. In an alphabetical listing of the U.S. state capital cities, what 2 capital cities would be on either end of that list? You can give me 2 guesses. If you get either of them in both guesses, I'll give you bonus, or I'll give you the points, the 10 points for the question. If you get both of them, I'll throw a bonus point on top. Well, actually, Neil will.
Okay, we are locked in.
Okay,
All
Wesley.
right. Albany?
Yeah, I have Albany and Trenton as
That's
last.
what I've got. That's what I've got.
Alrighty, and Team Triviality?
They're right next to each other, taunting us too. So we put Atlanta and Topeka.
Good guesses, but Sinister 2 takes it. That is Albany and Trenton, and that is a bonus point on top of the 10 points for that question. We're getting both of them.
All right.
Nicely done.
I started with Atlanta, scratched it out, wrote Annapolis, scratched it out, and then got to Albany.
All right. Question number 4 is in the category Got It Milk? Here's the question. The very first commercial aired of the now famous Got Milk campaign featured a man eating a peanut butter sandwich and attempting to answer a trivia question unsuccessfully. Your question is, what was that trivia question? I can also give you the information that this man was sitting in a museum of sorts dedicated to the answer of this question, if that helps.
We're just going to punt, unfortunately, on that one.
No, it's Who Shot Alexander Hamilton.
That's what I put, because I know he's trying to say it, and he says, Aaron Burr.
Yep. Triviality, what'd you punt with?
We just punted with Ray Guy.
Ray Guy. That is close. It is Who Shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel. His answer was, of course, bro. That was that. All right, question number 5 is in the category crossed scales. Here is the question. At what negative number do the scales for the Fahrenheit and Celsius temperature scales cross? In other words, what negative number represents the same temperature on both scales?
Okay, they're locked in. Is that what your locked in answer is?
I'm within a degree or 2. I can't remember for sure, but
okay.
I would give a plus or minus 1 on this one.
Jeff wrote our official answer is minus 40.
Yeah, Sinister 2?
Minus 40.
Minus 40 for both of you. Nicely done.
All right, after 5 questions in the second round, Team Sinister 2 is perfect in the round, gaining an extra 51 points to make their total 192, and Team Triviality picked up another 20, putting their total to 95.
All righty. Question number 6 is in the category Roman Romans. Here's the question. In what modern-day country is the land of the ancient Roman Empire called Caledonia? Now spell it for it if you want. It's Caledonia. Caledonia.
Saw this question the other day.
I don't know. What do you think? You wrote down France?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have no idea. So if
they
you
have an island territory in the southern Indian Ocean called New Caledonia.
Oh, well, that's good enough for me. We're going to lock in with France.
All right, and in Sinister 2. Sinister 2, what are you thinking?
I believe it's Scotland.
All righty, you might find this word printed on a bunch of Scotch bottles. Caledonia is Scotland. Scotland. All right, question number 7. Revisiting a little bit of Latin here. Categories: words, words, words. What common English word comes from Latin and translates literally to death agreement?
I feel like we're both in agreement that we're dying slowly right now. Against Sinister 2.
Oh!
To me, death is mort, right, in Latin. So it's got to be a word that has mort in it, I would believe, right?
Maybe.
I don't know why I wrote mortician.
Phil, I've got an idea.
I don't know if that's like an agreement that the guy takes care of your body.
I don't want to
afterwards.
lock it in. I want to talk it out,
Yeah.
but I've got an idea.
Okay. Do you want to go with the first one I said or yours?
I don't care.
Okay. All right. We are locked in.
All right,
Okay. What do you have?
Consensus?
What I've got, because I was thinking of the term rigor mortis, which means like death, rigidity, or so I believe mort is the death part. So I'm thinking mortuary or mortgage.
Mortgage makes sense. I think because like the whole like irony and like signing of paying a
Right.
mortgage. Especially with the root of mort. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
That's where I was
like
getting
that.
it from. Yeah. Okay. So we'll lock in
like
with
that.
mortgage.
All right. Team Triviality, what'd you lock in with?
What did we lock in with? I can't read your handwriting.
Oh, we locked in with the mort as well. We did not think of mortgage, unfortunately, so we just went with mortician.
Hopefully it didn't take you 30 years to get there, but it is a mortgage.
Mine's a 15-year, thank you.
Ooh. Who's financially intelligent. All right, number 8. Question number 8 is in the category high score, going back into the world of sports, but going way, way back. Here's the question. The highest total score of an NFL game ever was 113 points. It was 72-41 on November 27th, 1966. What I want you to do is name either the teams who played in that game or both for a bonus point. You get 2 guesses.
I don't know. What do you think about that? Is like the main answer?
Something in my mind triggered that, so I'm fine with that.
I feel like I've seen the video of this, but I can't remember. Okay, so so if we just have to name one, and then if we get the other team, we get a bonus point.
Yes. All you need is one.
Okay. All right. We're locked in.
All righty. And discussion.
Okay, Phil, what are you thinking?
No, but I saw this recently, and it's I think it's too easy. I think it's like the Redskins over the Giants.
Okay. I can go with that. I don't have any reason to doubt that, so I can go with that.
All righty, they're locked in. Team Triviality, what do you have?
So we initially, both locked in, or kind of locked in brainwaves on the Bears, Chicago Bears, not because we're local, just because for some reason we feel like we saw a video of that. And then what team would lose that badly, even though they were good in the old days. So we just, for our secondary answer, we put the Browns. So
yeah. The answer is the Washington Redskins with 72 points, the New York Giants with 41.
Nice.
And
nice, Phil.
Can you literally see my sheet here? Like, I'm not holding the front to you,
No.
right? Okay, good. Just all right. Here we go. Number 9 is in the category board origins. Board origins. Here's the question: Mokshapatam was an ancient game used in India to reinforce the ideas of karma versus kama, destiny versus desire. The U.S. Milton Bradley version had morality lessons illustrated on its board and rewards and consequences for each. Name that board game.
I think that's a good guess. It's right in line.
Yeah, and Wesley, I have a couple thoughts, but I want to talk about it with you.
Yeah, I've got a thought as well to talk about.
Okay, let me write it down just so we are locked in.
I mean, the first one that came to my mind, just because of how old this game is the game of life.
I could see that.
Yeah. And also, like, the whole morality thing, like, everything, like, in the game
Right.
of life is,
Yeah, my original thought was Pachisi, but that was more just because I know that's an ancient Indian game.
Okay.
I don't know a whole lot about it, besides to say that I don't think that's necessarily how it works with the morality thing. But I don't know. I like that idea of the game of life. Do you have any other thoughts?
I don't have any. That was the one that I was like strong on. I don't have any others that I'm like.
Let's go with that.
Let's go with that.
Okay, we'll lock in with the game of life.
What are you thinking, gentlemen?
We originally thought the Game of Life. We thought about it for a bit, and then I kind of fondly remember a little board game that I used to play, and I'm pretty sure it had some strong moral overtones now that I think about it, and we went Chutes and Ladders.
Oh, that's totally it.
Yes, the consequences are falling down chutes. You climb ladders for everything good you do. Chutes and Ladders is the name of the game. Or its early version, Snakes and Ladders. But
I was thinking the same.
Wow.
So
cool. Nice job.
First missed question of the game, but we're still getting trounced. But yeah, great job, Jeff. I had no idea. So I said Game of Life. Luckily, Jeff talked me out of it.
And question number 10 in the category Musical Alter Egos. Here's the question. Of the 5 Spice Girls, 2 of them shared the same real name. That's Melanie Brown and Melanie Chisholm. What are their 2 Spice Girl names?
We're locked in.
And I want to have both of them. No bonus points in
No
this one.
problem.
We're locked in as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I know this, Wesley.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with the Sinister 2. What do you have?
It's going to be Scary Spice and Sporty Spice.
That's what I wrote down because I knew Mel B was scary and I thought the other one was sporty.
There's nothing wrong with liking the Spice Girls. You know? You got to have to drive a car somewhere. Triviality. What do we have?
We agree. Sporty and Scary Spice.
Sporty and Scary Spice are the correct answers. Excellent points all around.
All right, after regulation, Team Triviality is going into the final round with 115 points. And Team Sinister 2, only missing one question, all of regulation, is going into the final round with 233 points.
All right, gentlemen, your final round categories are these. Number 1 is in the category Immobile Sports. Immobile Sports.
Immobile, like IMMOBILE?
That's the one. Question 2 is in the category Saturday Night Live Double Duty. Number 3 is in the category Retail Outlets. 4, I've got Famous Phrases and Voices. And question number 5 is in the category It's All Fun and Games Until Someone Loses an Eye. Excellent. All right, you guys are both locked in. So here we go. Question 1 is in Immobile Sports. Here's the question. Of all U.S. professional sports teams, what team holds the record for the longest amount of time in the same city with the same team name?
Oh, okay, so same team, same city.
Same team, same city. Record for that. Question number 2 in Saturday Night Live Double Duty is this. Although many musicians have hosted Saturday Night Live in addition to being the musical guest on the same night, only 2 people ever have performed as their alter ego, as in they hosted as their real name and performed music under an alias. The most recent was Donald Glover, who did so this year, performing music as Childish Gambino. Who is the other person who did so in 1999? All right. Question number 3 in Retail Outlets. Founded in 1983 in New York City, now with hundreds of stores all over the world, what clothing line's name derives from the Latin word for ship? Famous Phrases and Voices. Elwood Edwards is most famous for a 3-word phrase that was first heard by millions in 1989 and was made into the title of a movie in the 1990s. Give me that phrase that Elwood is famous for.
Could you repeat the person's name one more time?
It is Elwood Edwards. Elwood
Edwards.
Yeah. And number 5, it's all fun and game until someone loses an eye. In what suit in a standard deck of cards will you see both eyes on all 3 face cards? That is, Jack, Queen, and King have both eyes facing forward. Which suit? Alrighty, first question in Immobile Sports here was, of all U.S. pro sports teams, what team holds the record for the longest amount of time in the same city with the same name? Sinister 2, you had 20 points wagered in this one. What'd you have?
We said, well, I've heard this one before, and we said the Philadelphia Phillies.
All right, and Team Triviality, you had 15 wagered. What are you thinking?
Yeah, this one, it was in the back of my head for some reason. I immediately wrote down Philadelphia Phillies as well. We weren't too sure on it, but we feel a little bit better that Wesley and Phil wrote it down as well.
It is indeed the Philadelphia Phillies, founded in 1883 and never moving. All right. Question number 2, Saturday Night Live double duty. Many musicians have hosted Saturday Night Live in addition to being the musical guest, but only 2 people have ever performed music as their alter ego. Donald Glover was the most recent, doing so this year as Childish Gambino. Who is the other person who did so in 1999? We will start with the Sinister 2 again. Take it.
All right. Yeah. So we went with when a country singer went to a edgier if you can get edgier with country music. We said Garth Brooks and Chris Gaines.
Alrighty, that was 0 points on the wager there, and your answer, Triviality? For 30 points.
Yeah, with a pretty popular double album in '99, we felt it was the same, Garth Brooks and Chris Gaines.
It is Chris Gaines and Garth Brooks. That's the one.
I got a music question.
Nice. So Triviality picks up 30 points there. That's a pass on the wager from Sinister 2. Number 3, retail outlets founded in 1983 in New York City, now with hundreds of stores all over the world. What clothing line's name derives from the Latin word for ship? Let's go with... you both wagered 10 points on this one. Let's start with Triviality this time. Triviality, what are you thinking?
Well, we couldn't get pretty far out of the sea. We got stuck on Nautica, and that's where we left it.
All right. And Sinister 2, what'd you have?
Well, I want to give a shout out to my brother's girlfriend. Hey, Bridget. She works at Old Navy. So we said Old Navy.
Old Navy is a great guess, but it is Nautica. Nautica.
Nice job, guys.
Have expanded past. You guys almost had it there. You had. I think you were guessing on Nautilus and moved past it, but
yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, Jeff said Nautica, and then I said maybe Old Navy, but I had no thunder, so I'm glad I went with Jeff on that one.
All right, number 4, famous phrases and voices. Elwood Edwards is most famous for a 3-word phrase that was first heard by millions in 1989 and was made into the title of a movie in the 90s. Name that phrase. Triviality, you had 30 points wager on this one. Let's hear what you had.
I'm getting flashbacks of my old dial-up days. We think that this is You've Got Mail.
All right, and Sinister 2?
It is indeed You've Got Mail.
It is indeed You've Got Mail. Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, another one of those classic rom-coms with those plots. And number 5, it's all fun and games until someone loses an eye. In what suit on a standard deck of cards will you see both eyes on all 3 face cards? Jack, Queen, and King. Sinister 2, what do you have?
We knew it was black, so we flipped the coin and went clubs.
Alrighty, and Triviality?
For some reason, I thought this was hearts.
All right. Sinister 2, you wagered 15 points. You got those 15 points. It is close.
Nice.
Triviality, those 30 points eluded your grasp. The Jack of Hearts is one-eyed, the Jack of Spades, and the King of Diamonds. No queens are one-eyed, surprisingly.
All right. Well, after the final round, Team Triviality is going to be in second place with 170 points. And in first place with 278 points, and today's cream of the crop, it is Team Sinister 2 of Wesley and Phil.
Yeah, no, I'm living in a nightmare, and I am the cream.
Well done, gentlemen.
Nicely done, everyone.
Yay.
Yeah, great job, guys. That was a great game. Fun to go back and forth. We almost could have gotten
Good
close.
game, guys.
Yeah, almost could have gotten closer at the end there, but we played kind of poor in the second round.
It eluded our grasp.
Yeah.
You guys did really good on that swing round. Honestly, I did not think it was going to go over that well, but
at least we have that to take home with us.
Yeah, the swing round questions were really, really fun. Those were some
that was great.
questions.
I try to include at least one of those in my weekly games, but they are fun to write too.
Well, yeah, thanks guys for joining us today. We know you guys have to go, but we've wanted to have you on the show for a long time, and you know, we very much appreciate your support on Patreon, and you're always welcome to come on at any time. And Wesley, you and I are gonna have to play at some point, like we said too. So.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to hit the gym a little bit harder before we get back to our next match.
Yes, exactly. And like Phil, though, I feel like we have to run 3 miles in the morning, and maybe we'll play half as good. I guess we had to play half as well, but maybe better. So.
Well, and I was a bit confused when you had Mike on Mike Cameron on the show a couple weeks ago. I'm like, why do they keep on bringing up like the running thing? Because it's not like I'm. But then I remember I was late to your show in Boston because I had to run 13 miles.
Hey man, if that's what keeps that's the red sun to your Superman. Just keep running. So
you could probably just find a closer Airbnb next time, right?
Well, thanks guys. Any shout outs you'd like to give to your team members before we let you go,
or anything else you'd like to discuss?
Yeah, I mean Mike, Dan, Jeffrey, Scott. Hope to hear some more of them on. I think several of them have been on. I'm not sure if Scott has yet. I look forward to more Sinister Six appearances on this and other podcasts. And I had fun playing with Phil. He's great. I love playing with anyone on the team.
Well, yeah, thank you guys so much. And we will have to have you on again. We need Scott to come on. I think he's the only member who hasn't been on yet. So we'll make sure that happens.
But I'm pretty sure his voice has been on.
His voice has been on, and we need to actually, we do have to have him record his Macho Man drop. So
because it's so good.
Yes,
his Macho Man impression is spot on.
Well, yeah, congratulations again, Wesley. Thank you for joining us, Phil, and thank you, Tim, for amazing questions. Where can people find you?
They can find me at variety bars in the Chicagoland area. It's too many to list right now, but if you just follow Quiz Mercenary on Facebook, that's primarily where I do all my advertising, and that is where you'll find your weekly Facebook bonus question too. So. That is a good place to find me.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for hosting. Great questions.
Thank you for having me on. It was great to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you guys for Jeff, Wesley, Phil, Tim. My name is Neil. And sorry to Matt and Ken they couldn't be here because that was Triviality.
What the hell happened?
Hesitated.
May I ask why you felt little Tiffany deserved to die?
Well, she was the only one that actually seemed dangerous at the time, sir.
How'd you come to that conclusion?
Well, first I was going to pop this guy hanging from the street light, and then I realized, he's just working out. And how would I feel if somebody come running in the gym, bust me in my ass while I'm on the treadmill? Then I saw this snarling beast guy, and I noticed he had a tissue in his hand. I realized, he's not snarling. He's sneezing. Ain't no real threat there. Then I saw little Tiffany. I'm thinking, 8-year-old white girl, middle of the ghetto, bunch of monsters, this time of night with quantum physics books. She about to start some shit, Zed. She's about 8 years old. Those books are way too advanced for her. If you ask me, I say she's up to something. And to be honest, I'd appreciate it if you eased up off my back about it. Or do I owe her an apology?